Hey.
Hi.
These technical difficulties are not going to keep continuing, honestly.
But it's fine. We're not going to let that affect our reality.
No. Okay,
No.
so what? Welcome to
Girls to Women.
Oh, like new intro.
Yeah.
Boujee Girl Bling.
What was it?
Obviously still very new to this. What was it? Boujee Girl Bling?
Boujee Girl Hotline. Oh, we said
Boujee
it wrong
Girl
in the last one.
Hotline. Welcome back to
Boujee
Boujee Girl Hotline.
That my best friend. She a real bad bitch, got her own money. She don't need no nigga on the dance floor. She had 2-3 drinks, now she's working. She throw it out and come back in. That's my best friend.
Boujee Girl Hotline.
But we're completely sober.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
We are
completely
sober.
sober.
No, we actually are. We're getting surgery in a week's time. So
No, we're not allowed to do
we're not allowed. Did you know that, girls? You can't actually drink or smoke for a while.
You shouldn't.
It's
You can, but
highly
you
highly unrecommended. Yes.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Highly, is it unrecommended or is it not recommended?
No, highly recommended to not drink.
We got a few more questions pumping in.
We had to do it in two.
It was so good
some
though.
good
Like
questions.
the questions were amazing
You
that you
girls
guys are
are
sending
amazing.
in.
I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah. So make sure we drop our Instagrams below. So just DM us if you want to, or just pop your questions in the comments as well. We check them daily. So.
Or you can join when we do like a question and answer, a poll, whatever.
The first question comes in from Lauren. Okay. So she says, how do you keep it's a good one. How do you keep the spark alive in long distance relationships? So very specific to long distance. I feel you, Lauren.
All right, I'm gonna just quickly say I've never done a long distance relationship because I'm just not the type of person that can.
Yeah.
I'm a real lover. Like when I'm with someone, I love
Physical touch, right?
yeah, like long distance for me just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like I love quality time and I don't know, I personally couldn't do it. I know a lot of people can. But
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that? 'Cause I
No,
feel
my
like-
love language is also physical touch, so I need to.
Yeah.
Like I was to a few of my international loves that
Lovers.
yeah. Lovers to blocked. No, honestly, like
International block.
well, FaceTime was the thing that really saved us, right? We did phone sex too. That was pretty good.
This is the thing, you can keep the spark alive pretty
Yeah.
easily with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it still wasn't like the thing that kept it alive was that we had something booked in. So it was a countdown. The countdown was sexy. You
That's
have to have
exciting.
something. Yeah, but that's the thing. You have to have something booked in. You can't just be in long distance and have nothing booked in because then it's like pen pals.
Right.
That's not sexy.
Yeah, you need to keep that like fire
Yeah,
going.
which means you
Yeah.
need to always continuously count down and look forward to something.
Yeah.
So whether that's a trip booked in once a year, twice to 3 times a year is great. If you can do 4 times a year,
I was gonna say,
that's
what-
amazing.
wait,
Yeah, but
what?
financially, let's just say
Oh, okay.
average Joe.
Yeah.
Right. If you could do 2 to 3 times a year, amazing.
Great. Yeah.
But you have to have it booked in.
Do you
And
know
I
what
would recommend
the-
different countries.
Of course, don't go to the same
So that's
place.
how you keep
Nothing
sparks alive.
needs to be boring or
Exactly.
the same.
Yeah.
And also, how fun is that though? Like you don't get to see someone for so long and then like all that fire, all
what
the
I
things
mean.
you get to catch up on.
Yeah.
When you see someone every day, it's just like I know every freaking thing about you.
That's why you don't want to FaceTime
Yeah.
every day either.
No.
It's too much.
I think keep it like
2-3 times
short-
a week.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And like you said, a text a day like miss you, thinking of you, or just walk past this sort of view.
I love stuff
Right?
like
Right?
that. Yeah, it's like you're checking in.
Yeah.
You're like making them know that you
like,
are thinking
You're
about
not like,
them.
how are you? How
You're not
was
annoying. You're
work?
not annoying them
Ugh.
because they're on the other side of the world, right?
So are you, babe.
Yeah, and it also depends about your time zones as well.
Yeah.
So really think about where you're living because if it's an awkward time zone,
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you got to make it work somehow.
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah.
my Dubai and then the American guy, the timelines worked well because I could FaceTime them at my nighttime. And it was like their
Yes.
lunch break or their morning, so they could do it throughout
that's pretty
their
good. I
business.
actually like that because then it's like end
good.
of day or start
Yeah.
of day. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want to be interfering with work hours.
No, and then
Yeah.
I would sleep on like a really nice note, and obviously exciting because things were always booked in. So,
Cute.
Mary and her boyfie, they
Oh,
always
they're
meet
long
up.
distance, right?
They
Yeah.
will- yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
like they're gonna be close distance very soon. Like now they've been to in the last 3 weeks, like 3 or 4 countries.
Wow.
So that's what I mean. That they're always experiencing new things together, and that's how you keep the spark alive,
That's so fun.
right? If you're gonna do long distance,
Yeah. If you are,
I just can't really.
No, this isn't like for the lover girls. But if you can deal with that,
Oh, if my man was in Dubai, let's just say, because it's only like what 8-9 hours away
this
from
is the
Bali.
thing. If it's like a short flight,
Yeah,
then it's okay.
If it's 8-9 hours, and like if he's in Dubai, then I would go to Dubai every 2 to 3 months maximum, and then I'd want him to come to Dubai. Okay, it's giving she's hungry. I need food. So like every 2 months I would go to
Absolutely.
Dubai. And then he would come to Bali.
come to Dubai.
Oh my god. When a man calls me Habibti, I am done.
Habibti, come
That's
to
part of it.
Dubai.
That's part of the problem, isn't it? It's not part of the solution.
Have things planned.
Yeah, either don't do it or do it properly.
Yeah. That's just the thing, right? Understand if you're the type of woman that can do it as well. Because you could be like us, lover girls, or you could be
It's hard.
a bit more like open to the idea.
Yeah, like,
I'm just a hard no on it. But
yeah, I would normally I'm a hard no,
Yeah.
but now I'm open to it because I am so busy with my own stuff.
this is the thing. But it's like, I think being nomadic together is kind of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Whereas if it's
Yeah.
always going to be long distance, I couldn't do
Yeah,
that.
but that's what Mary and her boyfriend do. They're nomadic together.
That's kinda
so
hot,
like
yeah.
they spend, if I was gonna guess, maybe like 7 months of the year together properly.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some space
There
to
you
go and
go.
do girl stuff as
Yeah,
well, right?
exactly.
I think
So
that's
it's like
amazing.
More than half of your time is being spent with your partner still.
That's what I mean.
Which is great.
Stacey.
Hey, Stacey. What?
I'm just like wondering who said this to her. I'm like, he needs to fucking schmacko.
Oh, goodness.
So, how do you deal with men who say you're too expensive or high maintenance?
Block.
Yeah, stop dating broke men. Like,
Wow.
stop dating broke. What's
Put him
that
in the
song?
bin. Put him in the bin.
No broke boys, no
No
new
broke
friends.
friends.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh. even the couch is like, hell.
No.
Stacey.
No, why?
What are you doing?
As soon as he says that, you're out.
Bye.
That's a blessing. That is the easiest way to just get rid of a guy.
I rate that because he's like being straight up. So it's like, bye, in the bin.
Well, he's stupid. Yeah. Alla Pabella.
Alla Pabella.
What is that?
If he says you're
too
expensive.
Okay, so here's how I'd handle that. So let's just say you're a man, I'm a woman on a date right now. Say that to me.
Oh, no, you're just too expensive for me.
Oh my God, you're too broke. See you. That's how you respond. Exactly. Let
That's
him
what he would
choke
do. Yeah.
on his fucking
Yeah.
mocktail because he's too broke to afford a cocktail.
Yeah.
How
Do you know what I would do?
respond?
I'd go a step further and I'd be like, wait,
Okay,
say it to
let me say it to
Yeah.
you. Wow, you're like just way too expensive.
Oh, no worries. I didn't realize this was a friendship date. I'll just get the check and then we can call it. See ya. I'd just buy his milk.
Oh, no, I would never do
No,
that.
I would do it. I'd be like, fuck you, I'm buying.
You're
you.
emasculating him, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
would emasculate him.
That's a power play. I'm not giving him any of my money.
No, there's different ways you can
Absolutely.
yeah, approach it.
It's great.
But either way, bye.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
need to rationalize. You never need to explain your worth because high value women don't need to do that.
Yes, exactly.
We know
And
our worth.
this is why it always comes back to the point that we make about if you can already provide for yourself and all you want is at least the same, but obviously
More if you can, yeah.
then you're not asking for anything out of the
No,
ordinary.
exactly.
So you're not expensive.
No.
Because you can afford yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You're just not in his price bracket, babe.
Exactly. So change brackets.
Exactly.
Right? There's always another bracket.
That was a thing that David uploaded on Instagram the other day, and I was like, oh my God, I love this. He said, men, you've really, one dating advice, date in your price range.
I think I saw this.
Yes,
Yeah.
just date in
Yeah.
your price range.
Yeah.
Get a woman that is in your price range. That's it.
I saw the craziest video the other day. He basically was just like, I find it crazy how men think that, like, if you take a woman on a date, she should pay for half the date. Like, as a man, even from biblical standards, you should provide. And if you're going to take someone out, you should pay for the date. And
Yeah.
there was a guy arguing, and he was like, no. I find it unattractive if a woman doesn't offer to pay for half. And also, if we're earning the same, then she should pay for half. And he was like, I would actually gag at the thought of letting a girl pay.
I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the funny thing, right? If we're talking about half and half, is he going to, for the 4.5 months, grow the baby inside his stomach?
Right? Exactly.
No. So
No.
women, we're indisposable.
We
are
give you
priceless.
life.
Exactly. So you pay for that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that.
When did you see that Ronaldo's prenup came out and like what she
Oh,
gets?
that's public.
It's public. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
so
see that. Saw The Rock,
it's-
though.
no, the prenup's pretty good. It totals about I think 300 to 500 million. But anyway, that's obviously a lot less than what he's worth. I think it's 300 million that she would be entitled to, and she gets all these monthly allowances, all this stuff.
It's a
Right?
very juicy amount, though.
It's a juicy amount, but he's smart. He knows that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she'd get half of his
Yeah.
income, right?
Yeah.
Not his income, his freaking total.
His net
asset.
worth,
His
yeah.
net worth. But anyway, that's what she's getting, and everyone's like, "Oh, she's just using him." Blah blah blah. Blah. And it's like, no, he's just providing because she gave him life.
Exactly.
They have a beautiful family.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And do you know what? Not all of those kids are actually her kids. So she's raising someone else's kids as well and treating them beautifully. Well, you'd hope, but it looks like it.
you know, beyond everything, men just want like a maternal woman.
That's literally it.
A nurturing,
Yeah.
maternal, sweet, feminine woman.
They want the queen in their kingdom.
They really do, because what is that saying? Behind every successful man
is an even
is
greater
an
woman.
literally. And every guy I talk to on the phone every day says that they want that. They just want someone who's feminine and nurturing and wants to be a mother. And passionate, right? But like not because she needs to be, because she wants to be.
Exactly.
Open to him providing for her, but doesn't demand it.
Yeah, I love that.
I know. And
do you know what song? It's actually a line from a really old school Justin Bieber song.
Which one?
I can't remember, but maybe you'll know it when I say it. But he goes, "What's a king bed without a queen? It's a king bed without a queen.
Oh, what is that
There ain't
song?
no lion team.
Oh, I like the
make me complete. They're all that matters to me.
Oh, what a tune.
Yeah. Well, this goes back to all the questions before, though. A high value man will never ask you, will never say to you, you're too high maintenance, you're too expensive. A broke boy without ambition will state that.
Exactly.
Because he is just projecting his insecurity to be able to date someone as amazing as you.
Because he did not stick in his dating bracket.
Also tax
All
bracket.
tax
All tax bracket that you didn't stick in his tax bracket. All right, you go. Boy, bye.
Boy,
Bye.
I love a bell.
Honestly, that was good. Rachel. Ooh, this is a good one because we've both done this. Okay. Rachel says, what's one thing you wish you knew about dating internationally before you started?
Oh,
So many, actually.
Okay. My biggest thing is, sounds so bad, but if people, the culture. So yeah, a lot of times when I've dated internationally, like culturally, like it's not been a good fit. So I know, like, if someone has been brought up in like a specific place, that like I'm not gonna.
That's why you're so off
vibe.
accents.
So this is so bad, but I tend to go for like guys from the UK or who were raised in the UK.
Yeah, fair, because you're similar.
Yeah, but it's like I'm closing like my options a lot, but like at the end of the day, that's just who I vibe with. Yeah.
No,
So
your
like,
man's from the UK. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
United Kingdom's pretty big.
Yeah. But like,
Brexit.
if I'm closing off a lot of the world. I'm like UK only.
Yeah.
No, but if you're like French or Russian,
French or Russian.
if you're French, Italian, or Russian, but you moved to the UK when you were young and you have like a bit of a twang or an international accent,
She goes gaga for that.
international accents just.
I love Italian men. They've got to be raised. I can't remember.
You
if
want
it's
to talk
north.
about Italian men?
I've given him enough airtime, I think. It's either north or south, whatever it is. So it's one of the other. One's very traditional. I think it's the
Naples?
north.
Is that north?
But the northern Italian men are very traditional. Like the man will take care of you. Like all of that. I love that.
But this
So
is the
that's-
thing with different nationalities, right? Like the way of being a man is very different.
Yeah.
Like for example, Russians, right? They have that mentality of
Yeah.
extreme provider.
Yes.
Whereas an American man
Could go both ways.
Could go both
Could
ways.
go
Yeah,
both
yeah,
ways.
yeah.
You don't. Same as Australia though.
yeah.
More on the side of splitting the
I'd
check.
say Australia's not really there with the provider.
Unless it's an entrepreneur. That's
Right,
what I mean.
yeah.
But then entrepreneurs in Australia are not that big because there's not many people in Australia.
right? That's
There's
actually
only like 27 million people.
how crazy that you come to Bali, which is such a small place. I know it's
Yeah.
filled with entrepreneurs, but like there's so many wealthy people here.
Yeah, but like, okay, but they're not locals, so like, let's rewind that.
Yeah.
They're expats.
This is
right?
true, yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
And they moved here to start something, to get
exact-
outside of the 9 to 5, to escape the matrix.
But even then, I think we'll do a whole episode on that because you've got to like
Absolutely.
weed through those men in Bali that say they're entrepreneurs.
when you earn 2K a month.
That's what I mean. Like, what are you
It's like,
doing?
what the- because I used to think he's good looking. Let's give this a go.
That's about it, yeah.
And I wasted a lot of time because I knew culturally, ultimately now,
wasn't
it
right.
wasn't a good fit.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine then, what I wish I knew then, what I know now is, okay, culture's a good one, the long game. So that's a part of culture fit, but the long game. Does he want a family?
Yes.
When, if I'm going to move over there, if he's going to move over here, how is our life actually going to look like? That's a big thing that I never bothered to do. And then I was like, I don't see myself fitting into this life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he doesn't want to fit into mine over here. So, like, how's that ever going to work?
That stuff needs to be established.
It
like
needs to be
pretty-
established
pretty
before
soon.
you take it anywhere serious.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big thing because you can't get married and just continue to live in two different countries.
No
You can have
way.
multiple home bases, which is what we want.
Which is cool.
right?
Yeah.
And you can go around together. But if one person is completely immovable in what they want and you're bending all the time, you're going to have resentment build up.
Exactly.
right?
And this is why I talk to, again, men every day about if they're in multiple locations, then we make sure that the women we set them up with are open to relocation.
Yes.
And we tell them, obviously, the places.
Yeah.
For example, Miami, LA, New York, wherever it may be, San Fran,
Yes.
right? The top 3. But it's like, as long as you're open to that. But that is what's the word? We pre-vet that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's good to know.
That's
Yeah.
and that's exactly. So you won't have Cassie, you won't have matchmakers doing this for you, right?
Yeah.
You might not. So you need to do this for yourself. You
Yeah.
need to matchmake for yourself and be like,
Exactly.
okay, can I even be open to this? Like, you need to sit down and ask, what are the values? Where do I want to raise a family? Where do I want to live?
And don't get lost in like that foreign hottie. Don't get lost in the lust.
Honestly, when they're just like, Italiano.
Yeah, exactly. Don't give in to all of that.
No.
You got to set those boundaries early on, and don't be afraid to like say that. And don't think you're gonna sound crazy being like, well, where do you want to live?
Yeah, I tell you, it gets hard sometimes.
Yeah,
You know, especially when
yeah.
you're the 6'5" Italian breathing down your neck. You're like,
You're like, oh,
gelato, okay.
That's the only thing you want to do. Oh, I mean, yeah. Look, if it's gonna be a little romance, a little fling, then whatever.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's different.
Just be prepared.
Yeah.
All right, Kaza. I got Karen at the end here. Last question. How do you stop comparing yourself to other women online? Ooh,
Oh my god,
that's a loaded question, Kaz.
Very low. That's like a whole episode type question. All right. This is tough because like I've done this pretty much my whole entire life. It's really hard, especially
I don't do it now.
I don't actually do it now, but like I used to do it hard, and I think it doesn't help when you've been on like TV and you're literally on there to be compared to other
You
people.
got
and
lots
it's
of
like,
followers as well.
yeah, so you're always going to be like, oh, I wish I was prettier, or like I wish I was skinnier. And so it is really tough, but I feel like now, I don't know, I feel like now it's like being unique and being yourself is kind of sexy.
Oh, absolutely.
And you got to really like, I don't know, lean into the features that aren't so common.
Yeah.
Like, okay, nowadays you got to realize that everyone is striving to ultimately look the same, which is really sad to say. But if you think about back in the day, right? Like you look at Friends, you look at like these old actresses, not old as in like older time, and they had thin lips, they all had different noses, they had different eye shapes, like they all looked really different but unique and pretty.
Yeah, because they were raw.
They were
in their
raw, they were
beauty.
real, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they all still did have a little bit of surgery. Come on, it's been going on for years, but like tasteful surgery to not completely change what they look.
Yeah.
And now from kids who are like 16 and upwards are getting like big lips, nose, like the fox eye.
Everyone
like
looks like the Kardashians.
everyone looks the
like
same.
the Kardashians.
So this is becoming the beauty standard. So I think own your uniqueness, because ultimately, right,
my
that's
food's-
going to make you stand out.
My food's here.
Oh,
Like, Kaz, just do things that bring you joy. That's the one thing that made me stop comparing myself to other people, is just leaning into things that bring me joy.
right.
Books, languages, businesses, friends,
Yeah,
trips
don't doom
overseas,
scroll.
dancing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have time to doom scroll. When you have time on your hands, that's when you're comparing yourself, because you know deep down that you're not actually filling your cup. So you're looking to other people externally, surface level, to fill that for you.
Exactly.
That's where the insecurity comes. You're fucking
Exactly.
welcome.
And remember that not everything that you see is real as well.
Exactly. And we end there, because
Yeah.
now I need to get my
Yes, queen.
All right, send us more questions. Like and subscribe. But this is the Boujee Girl
Girl hotline.
Woo!